Because there's nothing going on in his stupid little head.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
What happened? Did your balls drop off?
Get off my lawn. Get off my plane.
I want to suck you off, Steve.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
It's too damn bad.
You thinking what I'm thinking, partner? Aim for the bushes.
Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake. I will be your guide, Corbin Barnes. I'm here with groundskeeper Cole Branch and head counselor BJ Weepy. And this is episode 5 of Aiming for the Bushes, a podcast where we rewatch and overanalyze our favorite movies. Yes.
Can I stop doing that? Can I stop doing this now? Okay.
Right. You guys did great.
Oh, thanks.
With the Chihas. which we found to be
bone-chilling.
Bone-chilling, eerie.
Throughout the movie, yeah.
Nails on a chalkboard.
Happens multiple times. Like almost every time there's something eerie going on, that's what you're hearing.
That's how you know.
You
it's
know?
like in
It's a big indicator.
is it Godfather? Every time you see an orange, that means somebody's about to die.
Oh, in The Departed, anytime you see an X in the scene before, that character that was in that scene dies in like the next
that's true.
scene or like.
I'm not a fucking co-op.
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking co-op. I know you're a co-op. You have to tell me it's the law.
Can I just say, sitting in the middle just feels weird. I gotta go like this.
The Departed.
I know you're like the Johnny on the spot. You're playing like shortstop in the middle.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, you're the mediator.
Like
In case I jump you and try to beat the shit out of Corbin.
Well, if saying that we're arriving at Camp Crystal Lake didn't give it away, we watched.
It's from the movie.
It is from.
We watched this Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
The first in however many movies?
12.
12
movies.
Do you
Holy
think
shit.
That's a baker's dozen.
That's a dozen. A baker's dozen's 13.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Learn
So
how to
there's one
count,
extra
man.
cookie for the
Oh,
baker
I
to
just
eat.
thought it was baker's dozen was just a fun way to say dozen.
Nope.
No, that's
Well,
not it
there's,
at all, actually.
Well, it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah. That's the date.
And then it's a baker's dozen. Anyway.
Interesting that the Friday the 13th happened on June 13th.
Yeah.
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. It's a national holiday.
Interesting. 1980 is the year that it came out.
1980.
Yeah. On the dot.
Who directed this bad boy?
Sean C. Cunningham. And I looked up some of the other stuff he directed, but it was nothing of note. He has a lot of producer credits, but I only looked at directing because that's all that really matters.
Yo, Dre, stick to producing.
Yeah. Doing a lot of dope producing. You haven't had a chance to tell him what time it is.
Yo, Dre, you've been doing all this dope producing.
Yeah. There's a lot of brothers out there flaking and perpetrating and scared to kick reality. You know?
I gotta do something about that.
Cole speaking the truth. This 1980 iconic slasher flick opens at Camp Crystal Lake in the year 1958 with some long establishing shots of the lake and the tied down canoes outside the swimming area.
When were the aliens found in the 50s?
Oh, I thought that was like.
Was that like 58-ish?
I thought that was 58-ish too. Like, what was that? Roswell?
Roswell, New Mexico.
Roswell, New Mexico? Was that 58?
That was a weather balloon, I think.
Jamie?
Maybe. Or maybe it was aliens, Cap.
It could have been. I hope it was.
I bet it was.
As we're introduced to the setting, being the iconic 80s summer camps featured in so many slasher films, we hear some guitar playing, teenagers having a good time in the cabin. Yeah. Shorts are short, socks are long, and it's a great day to be alive.
Yeah, you know, the camp that they filmed it on is actually called Camp Nobi Bosco. Nobi Bosco in New Jersey.
Sounds Polish.
That sounds, yeah. Interesting.
No.
Or is it? I
No
don't even
people
know if
school.
that is.
No people school.
Sounds. Check.
Guys, the Roswell Incident happened in 1947, so way off. Yeah, way off. Way off.
About a decade ahead.
Yeah.
Not quite a baker's dozen years ago, but before that, but close to it.
Yeah.
After we see the people enjoying the guitar playing No Wonderwall, luckily, we see a creepy. We can tell
No
that it's
Freebird
like
either.
a POV shot of an individual entering a tent full of, or a cabin full of sleepy children. You can see there's like the games about and all the. I just love watching old movies and looking at like all the old stuff. In the background.
Things were so different.
Yeah.
Styles
And I enjoyed that quite a lot
different.
in this.
No.
And this is where we hear the it's for the first time.
That's the noise we were making at the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the
A
one.
little throwback for you. Hopefully you remember that. It was
Yeah.
5 minutes ago.
Be paying attention.
Good on you. Good on you paying
And
attention.
as young couples do at summer camp, you gotta break off from the group, find an empty shed,
And fuck.
and do the hokey pokey.
The bees and the birds.
And if you know anything about slasher movies, the couple that's banging is always dying first.
Like right away. Like, come on.
Usually,
You ever see snakes on a plane?
yeah.
I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
I watched that. It's so funny that you said that because I watched that like 3 days ago, and
I've seen that movie a bunch of
a
times.
snake bites a dick, a snake bites a boob, a snake is crawling by a lady's bush, and she's all like,
snakes
"Ooh."
hanging from her titties.
Yeah.
Titty snakes.
Gosh.
You don't want those hanging off the tits.
No, that would be. I mean,
Sensitive area.
talk about being kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Sound it out.
I'm drawing a total blank. Being an inconvenience. Sorry, an inconvenience. Having snakes on your titties. Imagine trying to put a shirt on and you got snakes dangling from your titties.
You almost have to take them off before you can put the shirt on.
Yeah, you should see a doctor.
Right? Walking around, you got big bulges in you. People are like, what the fuck's going on with you? And you're like, oh, I got snakes. And they're on my breasts.
It's pretty abnormal to have snakes on your tits. You'd think.
Yeah, that would be strange.
The X-ray would look ridiculous.
Yeah,
Could you imagine?
the X-ray.
X-ray, our favorite character from
Holes.
And we noticed that this young couple went away to make love, brought like a banging blanket with them because they like laid it
The
down
bang blanket.
before they started rolling on top of each other.
What if it was the guy's like baby blanket, like his safe blanket that he got when he was a baby?
Yeah, because he needs it to feel secure.
Yeah, that's like his secure. After he's done doing the dirty, he needs his like support blanket. he's like he cries himself to sleep softly.
Well, after what happened to this couple, I think I need a cry blanket because we see the POV cam slowly climbing up the stairs, and we see like the banging couple's like legs rolling against each other.
The guy, the man in that duo, his name is Barry.
Barry.
Which
yes.
So, can I pause for a second and say one more thing about the Country Bears? We can go back to Friday the 13th.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So after Christopher Walken stole the bus.
Oh no.
Yeah, remember? And he steals the bus, and then they get the idea to track them with a tracker. Why didn't they use that like days ago when Barry first ran away? I forgot to mention that. I just wanted to bring it up now.
Thank you for bringing that.
Thanks for bringing that up. I don't know. That's a pretty big plot hole.
Yeah, there's probably more in there that we missed too.
Yeah. And the cops just disappeared. Like after the line, sports fan line, there's not in the movie anymore after that.
It's like they just gave up.
It's like the first 48.
The first 48 bear version.
Yeah,
Bear's gone
We
wild.
didn't find him. He's gone. Can we go back to Friday?
Yeah, that's all I meant.
Okay, thanks, Cole. Thanks for bringing that up.
So Barry from Friday the 13th is like, oh, we weren't doing anything, and they're like fixing their clothes, and then he just gets stabbed directly in the gut, like
Stabbed like a million times.
That's why you shouldn't have premarital sex.
Exactly,
It's
you
a
die
sin.
every time. And then the woman is running around like, oh, don't stab me.
That's what I would say.
We get like slow-mo back in the day was like super fucking choppy because of the frame rate.
Yeah.
So there's like choppy ass slow-mo as she gets stabbed and it fades black, and you get the
You don't even see her get stabbed.
the sick intro credits are like fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin's like glass shatter as like some text zooms in.
Give me a hell yeah. If you like slashing teenagers, give me a hell yeah.
He would
He'd be a good Jason.
He would be a great Jason.
Hell
He's already
yeah.
bald. After a long black and white. I just stabbed your ass.
Jason 316 says just stab your ass.
Stone Cold Stunner. Stone Cold Stunner.
Stunts a fucking kid. His head pops off.
I was just gonna say that. After a long black screen, white text credit sequence, we are Friday the 13th present day, which would be 1980. Yeah. We see a girl walking down a deserted small town looking for a ride, and she's hitchhiking. She's hitching.
It's dangerous.
You shouldn't do that.
You shouldn't do that. It's dangerous.
It was
really
a lot
dangerous.
more accepted back.
It was.
this time, though.
Yeah.
True, that is true.
She meets a dog at a gas station and talks to it like a human.
Odd.
Where the dog directs her to a diner, and we discover her name is Annie, and she's looking for a ride to Camp Crystal Lake because she is the new cook.
Yeah, someone's got to cook.
And of course, the small townsfolk are like, "Oh, you don't go there. You don't go there."
It's an old man warning, classic. Oh, you're all doomed. It's cursed, I tell ya.
And then luckily, a truck driver has a big enough heart, or maybe we find out that he shouldn't have took her there, but he decides to lend Annie a ride.
Nice guy.
They are interrupted by the most crazy of the townsfolk, who we found to be named Ralph, who provides an additional warning that she shouldn't go to camp because it's things that GD cursed. Okay?
Yeah, you don't.
It's whack.
Yeah, it's a wiggity whack, kids.
It's wiggity
Stay away
whack,
from
yo.
that camp, yo.
On the way, well, the driver does.
That camp is not fly.
That is so off fleek, my fellow children.
That camp is cap.
There is no
CAP, I tell you.
all
Camp
of the
Crystal
cap
Lake
is on
Fun.
there. Yeah,
That's Cap.
yeah.
Yeah, right. That's so cap.
Great lake though. The lake is actually really nice.
It's
on a hot day.
It's absolutely beautiful.
That's no cap. No cap on that.
No
one.
cap.
The driver does
Single
warn
cap.
Annie that she should quit, though. I think he thought it through. He's like, "Yeah, I'll give you a ride," but it was against his better judgment. But then he was like, "No, you should quit. You should quit."
Yeah.
Get away from this place.
He tells us about a kid drowning a couple of years ago. Or excuse me. He tells us of the couple dying in 1958, and then the year before, the kid drowned. Random fires were being started.
Drowning is when you're underwater for too long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Humans
I didn't
can't,
know.
Humans
I didn't
can't
know.
breathe underwater.
For you. Yeah, they can't.
The driver drops off Annie at a cemetery, which is appropriate.
It's where dead people are.
Really?
Yeah. How many dead people do you think were in that cemetery? Or no, how many people do you think were dead in that cemetery?
All of them?
Clever girl.
Ah.
we then flash over to
Thought I had you.
a truck full of three teens ready to counsel some kids at camp.
Hell yeah.
One of these teens, none other than Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon!
Before the movie, Cole and I were like, "Yeah, Kevin Bacon's in this, yeah." And it popped up on screen. BJ's like, "It's Kevin Bacon." Yeah, man.
They're like, where the hell have you been? Good thing I can always carry a little sugar on me.
They're
that boy with the
sorry. They're
Jeff
absolutely
Sedell.
blasting banjo music in the truck too.
Yeah, I love a good banjo. Steve Martin plays the banjo really well. Sometimes and he posts it on Twitter, and I like
That's
his
awesome.
stuff. Yeah.
That'd be just a really good thing to learn.
Yeah, it'd be funny.
He's a wild and crazy guy.
He is a wild and crazy guy.
The truck full of hunks arrives at camp to see the new owner named Steve pulling a stump out of
I
the
want
ground.
to suck you off, Steve.
Steve the pirate. Yeah, scurvy.
And he's immediately starts begging for help to get this fucking stump ripped out of the ground, which should have introduced himself first, because these are all his new employees.
It would have been the polite thing to do.
Yeah. But he's probably a little nervous. He just bought this cursed camp, and he's got to get it all ready.
He's got to get the cursed camp ready for these kids. Big summer.
Worth noting that he was wearing the shortest of short jean cutoffs and a bandana.
Hey, real nice.
Summertime.
Real nice.
Summertime.
Makes a couple awkward compliments to Alice about her drawings and how good they are. And
he was like,
how cute you are.
I wrote down
You're so pretty.
what he said. He was looking at the drawings. He was like, "You draw really well." Like he was hitting on her. Then he said,
You want to draw me naked?
"You ever see Titanic, that movie that comes out in 20 years?"
I remember reading about that.
Oh, you haven't?
You haven't seen this future movie?
There's this old broad with this huge necklace, and she just fucking
She just jokes it.
But it was actually the Olympic.
It was actually the Olympic because
an insurance
J.P.
scam.
Morgan took out his insurance.
J.P. Morgan.
There was 2 boats, and Steven Spielberg didn't actually go down there and look at it.
But Leonardo DiCaprio, you know him.
It was James Cameron.
James Cameron, sorry.
Yeah, it was James Cameron.
Steven Spielberg was also in the ocean, but that was from Jaws.
Yeah, man. That's that shark movie.
There's a movie about a shark.
With the shark.
It's called The Meg. Jason Statham.
47 meters down with
The fucking Ryan Reynolds' wife, Blake Lively.
Blake Lively, that's right.
Lake Blively.
Lake Lively. I've been told that I look like Ryan Reynolds.
I thought you were gonna say you've been told you look like Blake Lively.
That too. Both of them.
You're like the left side of your face looks like one, and the right side. Oh, Blake? Oh, it's Ryan.
Oh, that's right.
Blake? All right, what's up,
Ryan.
guys?
But if we look at you straight ahead, you look like some fucked up man and woman.
Don't look at me straight on, I'll take your soul.
You're like Two-Face. Well, after Alice was
Anyways.
these creepy compliments from Steve, we see more creepy POV footage of her getting more. I forgot why she went over, but she went to like the dock area to talk to the other counselor, and it's clear that they're being stalked.
Yeah.
Steve then hops in his Jeep after he commands the counselors to do things while he leaves. While I'm in the shower, I'm afraid to wash my hair. Whoa.
That was a weird noise.
I mean, I hope that picked up on the microphone there.
Wait.
Trying to be discreet.
Another counselor. We flash over to another scene of a counselor setting up the archery range, and it's the way it's shot here. We can kind of tell the archery range is going to have a murder later on in the show.
Definitely.
That's called foreshadowing.
And the guy shoots an arrow right by a girl's head.
She was like, "Oh my god!
Oh my god, Ronnie!
Oh my god, Ronnie! You silly boy!" Like, you scamp, and they run off.
Yeah, he has feelings for her. I think that was the girl that he had feelings for. All these people look the same.
I know.
And
What's the haircuts
everybody
too?
in the 80s just always looked the same to me.
The haircut on the one chick, like it was like a bowl cut. It looked so bad.
Yeah.
That was what they like to do.
Alice, who the fuck is Alice?
Fuck is hell.
The main grill. She had a terrible haircut though.
It's a song.
I know.
Alice, who the fuck is Alice?
People always sing that at karaoke when they're super hammered.
And then they go,
I like to sing "Friends in Low Places" by Garth Brooks.
I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys.
Okay, I've heard you sing that.
Yeah, that's always my
The
go-to.
Ring of Fire.
Oh yeah.
That's my pick.
Well, subscribe. Oh.
Well, thanks for listening.
Thanks, okay. Now we're back over to Annie. The last we saw Annie, she was dropped off by the cemetery, right?
Yeah.
And we see the Jeep that Steve just peeled off in stop next to her.
Pretty cool Jeep.
It is a pretty sick Jeep. It had white wheels. I thought that was kind of cool. Annie hops in thinking it's the camp counselor getting a ride back to camp, but it's not. She gets rather alarmed when she notices the driver passed the turnoff to Crystal Lake, and she bails out of the car in a very unathletic manner.
She like dives like head first, like she's jumping in the pit at the Fairbank Pool. And she like lands on her head, but then her leg hurts.
Yeah, but then she's like limping and running through the forest, and her upper leg, and then her lower leg hurt.
She couldn't decide
She
what
fell
hurt.
forward more than she ran.
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
She like kept tripping on nothing.
Classic
trope.
example of
Yeah.
Yeah, classic
horror trope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Escape it.
You can't run when you're being chased. Classic.
No.
I've
And
never
things are constantly
I've never
grabbing
been
your legs.
chased by
by a person that's trying to kill me.
somebody with a knife or
But
a machete.
I would probably just take off like the guy on Get Out, the grandpa that's like sprinting at him.
Oh, yeah.
Like that would be me.
That's-
And just
that's-
see you later.
That's
I'm
the best way to do it.
Serpentine.
freaking. I'm talking Naruto running through the.
People always like run for 10 or 15 seconds and then they're like, I'll hide in this closet.
Bitch, I'm not gonna stop
They're always
running.
hiding.
But due to Annie's clumsiness, the killer catches up with her and absolutely
Clumsy bitch.
just gashes open her throat with a fucking Rambo style Bowie knife.
Cuts it right open. And
Yep. The most graphic.
inside.
Third death of the movie, most graphic
Yeah.
so far.
so far.
Yeah.
It is.
Got her.
I think something that is worth saying is a big thing for horror movies is the quality of the kills.
Right. Agreed.
And for this movie, I thought most of them were really good.
I actually agree with that. That's kind of a thought that I had as well.
Every time somebody died, we're like, oh yeah,
That was awesome. Yeah, there were some pretty grotesque things that
Go for
happened.
the entertainment value of kills. It's got to be
Yep.
It's got to be an entertaining kill.
There's got to be a funny
Agreed.
one, a super
If
gross
somebody
out
like
one, kind of
dies,
a cool one.
somebody like dies of cancer. It's not. You can't. It's not funny. But if somebody gets stabbed in the face
In
with
the
an
face
axe,
with an axe.
that's kind of funny. That's a funny way to die.
The worst in horror movies is when they kill somebody off screen or like right before they're about to die. It cuts away, and it's like a rated R horror movie. It's like, well, you
Just show it.
fucking get killed.
Yeah,
They ran
just
out
show
of money.
it.
Ran out of fake blood.
Yeah.
Just
I bet it is.
Use their imagination.
It has to eat up a lot of.
Ran out of
things.
real blood.
Yeah. They ran out of real blood from those kids.
God.
We were under the impression that Annie was going to be the main girl because she was the first.
It was a tease. It's
It
like
was
beginning
a bit of a
scream.
tease.
Decoy. A bit of a decoy.
Red-
Didn't
red
see
hand.
it coming.
Didn't even see it coming. We flash back over to Alice changing back in one of the cabins, and she is startled by a black snake, which darts under the dresser. The whole crew of counselors that's not dead or gone, like away from camp, is in the tiny cabin, swinging pillows and shit at this little snake.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, due to it being a 1980s movie, they literally hacked a real snake in half with a machete.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a
that
real
was crazy.
snake. And I guess the handler of the snake, this could be bullshit, but this is what I read. The handler of the snake wasn't fully aware that they were just going to kill it, and then they killed it, and then he like attacked the director or like some people, like he got physical with some people.
Oh, that's
my.
kind of messed up.
Yeah, that could be
That could be his
bullshit.
pet, man.
Yeah, well, I guess it
Well, yeah,
was.
if it's like a movie animal, they're like, I guess you can't really train a fucking snake. Maybe to a certain degree, get it comfortable being around people, I guess.
It is kind of sad that they actually killed the snake.
Yeah, we were like, that looks
snake didn't know what was going on.
No, we were like, that looks real. And
Yeah.
then we looked it up, and it was real.
It was real.
Yeah, you couldn't do that today.
I bet Peter was real happy about
Can you
that.
imagine if they
No.
could kill a snake in a movie today?
You cannot.
They would be
They-
all over
they-
TMZ.
Big time.
Yeah, I don't know. I
all
don't read.
It's all
I don't
TMZ
read, I
we're
don't read
talking about.
TMZ. I don't read.
After
Be
the-
CNN probably.
Yeah.
That and Joe
CNN, am I
Rogan
right?
taking horse dewormer.
Well, after the snake is assassinated, a motorcycle cop rolls up because goddamn Ralph, the creep from in town earlier, was
It's cursed, I tell you.
on the loose. And they banter a little bit, and the cop is called back to the station. He's like, can't keep the sheriff waiting. Does a sick donut when he goes to leave.
Yeah, he does on his motorcycle.
We all agree it'd be pretty funny if he fucking crashed.
Yeah, it would have been
In
hilarious.
front of the kids. Damn it.
Like, can't pick his motorcycle back
All
up.
the kids are laughing at him.
God, so heavy.
On my foot. Shit.
Runs over his foot. He's got to like kick start it. He can't do it.
Damn it.
Kids are watching. God damn it. Gotta get this carburetor fixed.
Why can't I be cool?
Just want to be cool one time.
And
People respect me.
Alice is getting some food ready.
Everybody respects Greg because he can do sick burnouts.
I should have practiced more before doing it in front of somebody.
It's all about Greg at the station.
Greg's in for a promotion. Did you hear that big drug bust that Greg got the other day?
Yeah, I heard.
Employee of the month for the past 36 months.
Nobody recognizes me. I bring donuts to the cookouts
Every day. I get the coffee.
Disgruntled cops, man. You hate to see it. After the cop does his sick donut, Alice is in the kitchen preparing some food. She's probably wondering where Annie is because Annie was the cook. She was supposed to be there. But
it's dinner.
We found Ralph.
The hell you been?
I'm in here stacking pots and pans. No one's even been making food.
He's got to kick it into gear.
Kick it into gear. So Ralph scares the shit out of Alice in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And he's like, I am a fucking communicator of God.
I'm an old man.
This camp is cursed. You must leave.
You're all doomed.
And a couple other counselors run in, and they're not nearly as concerned as they should be, but Ralph just walks out and climbs on his bike and awkwardly runs away.
Yeah, Ralph's a crackhead.
He just like kept looking back at him.
Yeah.
And he walked so slowly away. It was so
This is
weird.
like one of
It
those
was so
long
strange.
long shots that we were talking about though too.
Yeah.
When he's riding away, there's like throughout this movie, there's just these long uncut shots of people just doing things.
Some of them are
But you
good.
expect something to happen.
Some of them are good and build tension, but a couple of them could have been axed out of there, I think. Kind of could have improved on the pacing a bit. But there's this one counselor that was being...
Tuck.
There's this one counselor that was being rather annoying the whole time wearing this Dolphins jersey.
He just shakes his body and walks away.
Dolphins jersey guy.
Dolphins jersey guy. We all agreed that he needed to go.
Yeah, it was his
But
time.
he spotted a figure.
It was his time.
He was creeping on Kevin Bacon and the girl in the pink shirt.
Yeah.
Trying to dance on logs.
Yeah, felt for the guy, you know.
Yeah,
Idiots.
he was jealous, but he noticed some movement in a cabin. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing over there?" And he walks into the cabin, and the scene changes once again. So we don't know the fate of...
The scene changed at the same time you had to flip your notebook.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, huh?
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
I didn't
Spooky.
mean to do that, but I did.
That's the scariest part of the night.
Oh shit!
It's like, yeah.
It's like something from The Witcher.
It's a little.
Look at the zoom on it.
demon
Oh,
bitch.
I can see.
Looks like the Undertaker.
It does look like the Undertaker. Rest in
You may have noticed that our set is different once again. We don't have a permanent setup quite yet, so we just have to rearrange a room in one of our houses every time we record.
Keep you on your toes. What's the Aiming for the Bushes set going to look like today? Says our fans.
Looks like it's
Shout out
BJ's
shout
basement.
Out. Shout out fans.
Shout out.
Mike Brandt,
Yeah.
super fan.
Shout out to my dad.
Shout out Jim Barnes, also regular listener. Super
Great
fans.
support system.
Great sports. We appreciate your listens.
Yeah. I think that's it.
After Dolphins jersey investigates the figure in the cabin, we see Kevin Bacon's character and
Kevin's Bacon.
Kevin's Bacon.
Kevin's Bacon.
And his QTGF is named Lizzie, and they're talking about storms because a storm was coming in. And Lizzie mentioned how she was having a dream about a storm once, and it started to rain blood, and that made me think of "Raining Blood" by Slayer. I'll play it in the set. But they make their way to their cabin, and they also start to do the deed, which means their time is limited.
Coitus.
Because coitus at Camp Crystal Lake is gonna be death
Yeah, for sure.
every time.
With comes kills. That's what I say.
Come kills.
Kills come with cum.
Come kills.
Come
Kills may come. You may come while killing.
While being
or
killed.
kills.
Oh, have you guys ever seen the movie Basic Instinct?
No.
It's good.
Okay.
Is
Cool.
Is Tom Cruise in it?
No, it's not. No, he's Michael
That's awesome, man.
Michael Douglas.
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Douglas and Sharon Stone.
Thanks for sharing your opinion.
I'm recommending it to everybody.
I did know that.
I brought it up because like they find some cum on the bed, and when because the movie is the Sharon Stone kills this guy, and then while she's fucking him, and there's cum on the bed, but they never thought to use like DNA, and that's a big plot hole in the movie.
I used to think there was semen on everything. And somewhere there was this giant semen database.
Believe it or not, the other camp counselors are also horny, so they're playing strip Monopoly in the
It's summer camp.
in
You
the
gotta
cabin.
fuck something.
Jason Voorhees is already taken.
Yeah.
And it's safe to say that when you're playing Monopoly, you buy everything you land on, right?
Of course.
Well, yes, of course. And whoever gets Broadway, you won the game.
Yeah,
Everyone else should just quit.
On Broadway.
That's on Broadway.
On
I was always the dog in Monopoly.
I was the boot guy.
I didn't play Monopoly very often.
You didn't have a signature piece?
It's like
No,
a
I
6-hour
played-
game.
We played a lot of
Yeah.
Candyland, and just kind of wrestled and beat the shit out of each other. We played football and
That's
My
That's better than
four
Monopoly.
brothers, we used to play Monopoly all the time, and then it would always end in a fight, and then we wouldn't talk to each other for a few weeks.
a few weeks.
fuck you, man.
There's
You
this
were the banker, you were
awkward
cheating.
awkward silence at the dinner table.
We played Life on the Farm, which is really fun. That was my brother Ben's favorite game.
Life on the farm.
Yeah.
Is it similar to life?
It's a life?
Yeah, it's similar to Life, but,
But
you
it's
just
life on
like,
the farm.
Yeah, you have farm. You have like a farm.
Cows and
Cows,
sheep,
sheep, cows, sheep,
corn.
Big.
corn, pig.
After the strip Monopoly scene, we go back over to Kevin Bacon's character. His name is Jack, and
Strong man.
his
Strong name.
GF
I like the name
Lizzie.
Jack.
They're moaning and groaning on their cot.
Sex noises.
There's lightning strikes going outside. It's pretty hot, pretty romantic, and we see
Congratulations.
I was horny.
Kevin Bacon gets a little butt squeeze.
Little butt,
You can see his
little
butt.
yeah.
His
Yeah,
butt
definitely
gets
saw his butt.
squeezed.
It's not like a tight squeeze, but just like a one of those
And
squeezes.
as their sex scene continues, the camera slowly pans up to the top bunk, and we see Dolphin Jersey,
Yeah.
Dolphin Jersey guy
super dead,
Yeah.
also throat slit,
slid open. I
And
mean,
he's-
pretty gruesome.
absolutely cooked.
Bloody.
Poor guy. I mean, I don't really feel that bad. He was kind of
No,
No.
we really don't. We
Looks
really
at the
don't.
Dolphins.
He's a Dolphins fan, am I right?
We did see a singular boob.
Just one boob.
one boob.
One and only boob. Not like one pair. Just one boob.
Just one boob.
Yep,
The other one was blocked by Kevin's hand.
yep. Strategically placed.
Yep. Very strategic.
It's like it's like if they showed two boobs, it would get like
I gotta pay extra.
like an X rating or something.
You gotta pay extra for that.
No, yeah, it probably is a lot per boob.
Yeah.
Lizzie hits the trail, throws on her raincoat because she's got to take a leak,
Piss.
and
Happens.
as she's out,
It does.
Kev smokes up a J, torches one up. He's laying in his bunk.
Just trying to smoke a JJ.
He's just celebrating that fornication.
Post-sex J.
Yeah, I
We
barely
see
got
some
one hit on.
awkward.
It hadn't even kicked in yet.
We see some strange movements. A hand shoots out of nowhere, grabs Kevin's head, and a fucking arrow rips through his throat.
Yeah.
Right through his fucking.
Absolutely iconic kill in the
Right
series.
fucking through him.
Like you know, you
You
don't.
see his
You
beautiful
weren't.
blue eyes.
You're not expecting to see
The
that.
same thing happens when you smoke tobacco, though.
Yeah.
You end up with a hole in your neck.
You don't
Yeah.
always die from tobacco.
You just might.
Lizzie's
where the heck with a big hole in your neck.
With a big hole in your neck. No, you don't always die from tobacco.
Well, I didn't mean to say it like that. Well.
Well, nonetheless,
Anyways,
chucking along.
Lizzie's in the bathroom getting cleaned up. She hears some commotion outside.
Remember when we were watching that sex scene? We made the joke that you cut this part out. We made the joke that Kevin like already nutted, and then you were like, "Can you clean yourself up?"
I'm gonna go back to the party.
I'm completely clean.
I'm gonna go back to the party. Why don't you clean yourself up, you filthy whore?
You stupid slut.
Bitch, I'll kill you!
I'll cut you in a million pieces.
I'll cut you in a million fucking pieces, bitch!
So after
Distracted.
after Kevin gets sliced and diced, or more of a poke, I guess, a painful poke that is, we see Lizzie in the bathroom getting the jizz cleaned off of her.
Is that bleeding?
That poke hurt.
I guess it's okay. But ouch, though.
Is it bleeding? No, I guess
it's
it's
okay.
okay.
It kind of stings. It feels better when I rub it.
I kind of like the pain.
Ooh, do it again.
I love getting stabbed.
Now spit on me.
Pour
Lizzie
some vinegar on it.
call me scum.
How'd that cool you off?
What?
Lizzie's searching the showers because she thinks Kevin's, teasing her, looking for her. She's throwing back the curtains. Is he here? Is he here? Another long, eerie shot. This is, I think they did it better with the long shot here. This is probably one of the better ones.
There were some times where they really nailed it.
Yeah.
And she doesn't find anything in the stalls, but turns around we see the shadow of a rising axe. And Lizzie turns around, completely gives up on trying to survive.
It's like she knew right away.
She kind of like gives the killer like a better spot to aim.
Oh, get me right here.
This is my good
And that's
side.
pretty much where she got it. She got an axe right to the neck.
And
And that was also pretty fucking sick.
That was pretty fucking
pretty
cool.
metal.
That was pretty metal.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th was pretty metal, guys.
Yeah, pretty metal movie.
It's pretty metal.
It's probably our most metal movie that we've recovered.
Other than
we've
the Country
reviewed.
Bears.
Well,
They've all been
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
lighthearted until this one. I guess.
true.
We're all like, well, just watching old childhood movies, and now Friday the 13th.
Holes had some dark moments.
Yeah, that's true. They just shoot him.
The strip monopoly is heating up. Everybody's shirts off.
Yeah.
Applause.
Everybody's shirts off.
Woo! Insert crowd noise.
Strip monopoly is absolutely heating up. There's not a shirt to be seen.
Nobody's
The
got
storm
No
still
shoes,
absolutely
no
raging
shirts.
outside. It's a category 4. The door flies open to the cabin, and everyone's like, we should probably call it a night. So the 2 gals and 1 gentleman that were getting naked, playing with paper money.
They ended it before anybody even showed like a fun body part.
Yeah. Like a single boot was the first thing they got
What-
taken
what
off.
was the point
So
of
it's
playing?
kind of a slow game.
Slow burn.
It should
Yeah.
be boots, plural.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for taking it slow and for the anticipation, but they just quit right before it got good.
Quitters.
So it's a waste of strip monopoly games.
Quitters.
So we see Steve, our main counselor, for the first time in a while. He's eating at the diner where Annie got her ride earlier. And we're getting some more clues here that he's a suspicious character because we
He's
noticed
spooky.
when we see like the killer a couple times, like their hand and sleeve area, we see that it's like a plaid shirt. And Steve's got a plaid shirt on. And he kind of awkward, makes some weird comments in the diner, but
Weird guy.
weird guy.
Weird guy.
Yeah.
And the ride earlier with Annie because she got fucking murked.
Yeah.
So we're getting some clues dropped.
No one's cooking.
And Steve heads back to Crystal Lake with his sick Jeep.
Pretty cool Jeep.
It's a nice Jeep.
The green one of the girls that left the strip monopoly game was wearing a green raincoat, and she's also in the bathroom looking for Lizzie. And we hear some chee-haws. And green coat girl gets out safely, luckily.
Thank God.
Thank goodness.
Green's my favorite color.
Meanwhile, Steve's Jeep fucking
It's not mine.
breaks down.
What's yours?
I don't have to tell you that.
Then why'd you bring it up?
It's purple.
Steve's Jeep breaks down in the fucking rainstorm because it's a Jeep, and they're actually kind of pieces of shit.
But they look
They do look
they
kinda
look different than other cars.
They do look.
They look unique.
They do.
My
look
Jeep. My Jeep's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Luckily, a police officer
Thanks, Cole.
rolls in.
So are you.
I'm a piece of shit. I was just agreeing with what you were saying.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No,
That's what you just said.
that's not what I said. You're
Cab,
first of
he
all,
said that,
you're
right?
quoting a movie. It's Happy Gilmore. Everyone's seen it.
Cab's agreeing with me. You said
I'm
it.
not even looking over there.
Good. Don't.
First, let's whip this guy back here.
I don't get his deal.
A bit of a mysterious character.
Where'd you find this guy?
Who invited him? He's like, guys, this is my house.
Hello. Back at the camp, there's yet a new counselor is being spied upon. It's the girl with the pink robe and the fucking Little House on the Prairie shawl. She is laying in bed reading, like propped up on her elbow, and that's comfy for about 35 seconds.
No way that
and then your shoulder starts to hurt.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have time to get uncozy because she hears cries for help outside.
That's how fast that all went down.
She's like, "What is going on? I hear noises."
I'm just trying to read.
So she
uncomfortably.
So she grabs a flashlight the size of 2 Pringles cans stacked on top of each other,
like duct taped together. Those like experiments we would do in elementary science, where you take 2-liter bottles and tape them together.
And you swish them.
And you swish them around and make like a tornado. That's how big the flashlight was.
Yeah, it was absolutely gigantic. It probably took radiation to power. And she wanders onto the archery field because she's following the cries. And someone flips on the power to the lights at the archery. And once again, the scene is cut to Alice on her own playing the guitar.
Who the fuck is that?
Who the fuck? Bill pops back in, and Alice states that she's kind of worried about the other campers, and she thought she heard some cries. And they go into the rain to investigate, both wearing bright raincoats. They're all extremely brightly colored.
Yeah, I noticed that. Raincoats were just the thing, man.
They were a good thing they had them. It was raining pretty hard.
Yeah, it was raining pretty hard.
They keep your regular clothes dry.
That is the purpose of a raincoat. That is right. Yeah,
not everyone knows that.
Some of them have hoods, and when you put the hood up, it'll keep your head dry.
Yeah, because some people don't like their hair to get wet.
No, I don't.
Yeah, no. If you're having a good hair day.
Yeah, right. Totally ruins it.
I didn't want to get wet.
Right.
But Bill and Alice are dry, and they find a bloody axe tucked into bed like a little baby.
And they're like, "What is this?
What is this?
Yeah.
What is going on?"
Yeah.
But suspicion is undoubtedly rising with Alice and Bill. They use a board to break into the locked office to try to get the truck keys. The truck won't start.
Of course.
But we're back over to
it was a Chrysler.
It was a fucking.
Am I right?
I think that was a Ford actually.
I used to have a Chrysler.
A Dodge Chrysler.
Yeah.
A Dodge Chrysler.
I legitimately thought that was what it was called.
Oh, what kind of car do you have? Oh, it's a Dodge Chrysler.
I remember someone telling me it was a Dodge.
Wasn't your car a Sebring?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good car, man.
That was a Chariot.
I miss her every day.
Rode hard and put away wet.
I remember the Avenger.
The Avenger was great, man.
I just thought that was a cool name for a car.
Yeah. It ran so well, man.
Well, it doesn't run. It's on wheels.
It rolls.
It accelerates. It rolls.
Wait, what?
You said it ran. You said your car.
I always thought cars had feet.
No.
Were you Fred Flintstone?
In 1300 BC, maybe.
After Alice and Bill can't start this POS poorly made truck,
nowhere to be found.
The cop that picked up Steve is telling him about how the full moon brings out all the crazies. Oh, you guys are laughing at something.
Sorry. That's cool. We're talking about Family Guy. Fred Flintstone, Family Guy.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
It's like you passive aggressive bitch.
I'm trying to get my rocks off. You know where to be found. Spending all of my money.
Remember that they did the episode where he was like in a high-speed chase, like Fred was being chased by the cops. It's like the O.J. Simpson thing. He's like, try to run from the cops, yabba dabba don't.
Yabba dabba don't.
The driver takes a left turn.
But that always put the 2 children on top of the roof. Not only is he endangering his life, but their lives as well.
Steve and the cop are on the way back to the camp. The cop's dropping off Steve. And the police officer says how the full moon brings out all the crazies. And Ralph is brought up again. And Steve is dropped off at the camp road. And he's walking up to the entrance to Camp Crystal Lake, and right by the sign, he's getting blasted in the face with a flashlight. And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing there out in this mess?" And then he just gets shanked in the fucking stomach. And he does like his O face, like someone just...
Vinegar strokes.
So we got a little misled there with Steve being the killer. There was some little clues, but...
It's a red herring. That's what they call
this
it.
movie is smarter than you, so don't even think you knew what was going on.
Don't even try.
The POV shot follows Bill like into the camera or into the generator room because he's trying to get the lights on. Oh, before that, they split off. You never split up in a horror movie. It's just a terrible idea. No. And you don't split up in one of the people that splits up. Alice, she just goes to sleep. Like, come on, gotta be on high alert.
This ain't Scooby-Doo.
We get another long shot of Bill dicking around with the generator. He's like measuring the gas. Oh, there's plenty in here. Yeah. And then it flashes back over to Alice, and she like jumps awake, and she's like looking at the ceiling, like fucking Bill's gonna be in the rafters.
Yeah,
or something.
he's gonna be upstairs.
It was like she had never woken up before.
Like, what's going on?
But she's all on her own, and this is where we get one of the unnecessary long shots. Like with Bill in the generator room, there was some good tension building there. But the one with Alice just slowly making coffee and looking around.
Yeah, that was just
a little too much.
I understand why it's done because it does. You expect something to happen, so it does keep your attention.
Yeah.
But when nothing happens, that's when I'm like, well, that was a fucking waste of time.
That was a total waste of time.
But I get why it's done.
It kind of kept me on the edge of my seat, but at the same time, it's like nothing happened. Yeah. So it's just kind of disappointing, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe that's by design. You know?
That could be. Yeah, that could be.
They should. I mean, they should definitely have it in there. I mean, it adds something.
It does. Alice decides she's done waiting idly by. She's too creeped out, so she she gears up, goes to the generator room to look for Bill. And she arrives, looks around, doesn't see anything, and as she's leaving, the door swings closed, and we see Bill just nail gun to the door. With a bunch of arrows.
He is just like propped up there.
And his throat is slashed as well. Poor guy.
Beginning to notice a common occurrence for the killer.
The MO.
Slashing of the throat.
Alice runs to a cabin, closes the door, and like ties it shut with a rope to the rafters.
Smart.
Which is good thinking, but
quick thinking.
It's quick thinking. We questioned some of the logistics, but it could work.
Yeah.
And then she finds like the most pathetic
random shit,
like light items to put in front of the door.
Like a suitcase.
I thought it was a realistic way to do it because if you're getting chased by people, you know,
you're not thinking straight.
You're not thinking. You're just throwing everything.
Yeah.
It was the realistic way to go.
Thinking of the rope is pretty commendable.
But it would have been funny if there was like a back window or another door,
or if there was a push door
and he snuck up behind her. And just like started handing her chairs like in Scooby-Doo.
Thank you.
Alice is safe for now. She sees the Jeep headlights cruising down the street, and she thinks that Steve is back to save her.
Yeah.
So she removes all the items she just put in front of the door.
She just takes it all
Took
off.
her like 5 minutes movie time and real life time to put all that shit in front of the door.
Because that was also one long shot.
One whole long shot, yeah.
And, how could I forget?
I don't know.
Before she sees the Jeep arrive, the fucking girl from the archery range gets thrown through the window.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking torpedoed.
What happened to her? I'm confused on what happened to her.
I don't know, but she was like tied up with like ropes, too.
Ropes.
She died.
Yeah. It's twisted, I know.
So you didn't know what happened to her. She died.
Thanks.
But
What's your problem?
Hey man, what's your problem?
No, I want everyone to know.
No.
It's a weird episode. But they started fighting.
They started fighting with each other.
I don't know why they posted that.
You don't know why they
Things
put
were
that
breaking.
on
It fell apart.
It was a black eye.
Blood on the table. But Alice is absolutely geeking after this body flies through.
Yeah, she is geeked out.
Act like you've been there before.
Yeah, come on, lady.
She just witnessed her crush.
Yeah. Yeah.
Murked.
Yeah. You never seen a dead body before?
Yeah. Never been chased by a slasher murderer man
Come
or
on.
woman.
Is it first time, Toots?
She removes all the door blockage items, skeets outside to the Jeep that has now arrived. And surprisingly, it's not Steve, who we know is dead, but Alice doesn't. It is a woman who introduces herself as Mrs. Voorhees.
Voorhees.
Mrs. Voorhees.
A lady in her middle age, perhaps early 50s, in a nice sweater with a flannel shirt on underneath. Interestingly.
I bet people laugh at her jokes easier than like if a young person told that same
Yeah,
joke.
it's because people laugh at old people's jokes.
That's how I'm saying that's how old she is.
Yeah.
That's the range of age that she is. Yeah.
Looks like
Good
a
eye.
total Karen, by the way.
Yeah.
She does. She has the cut.
Yeah.
The
She was
haircut.
acting
She's
like
got the Karen
acting
cut.
like a Karen.
She's like a mega Karen.
She's
Yeah.
a psychopath.
Yeah.
And Alice is like, they killed my friends. And she's like, oh, don't worry, child. I'm not afraid. And
Creepy.
she walks inside, sees the bodies, and is like, what monster could have done this?
Yeah.
That bitch capping.
She's got all the cap.
More cap.
Cap.
Mrs. Voorhees tells Alice about how bad the camp is and how Steve never should have opened it again, especially after that couple that died in 58, and even the year before that, her son died.
Jason.
Jason.
His name is Jason.
Name is Jason.
Jason Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Mrs. Voorhees begins to have like the 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
And she begins to voice her frustration that Jason drowned because the camp counselors were having coitus.
Yeah. Sexual intercourse.
So he wasn't
Stupid
being
kids,
watched.
hippie music.
Yeah.
We see some flashbacks of Jason drowning, yelling for his mom, "Help me, Mom! Help me, Mom!" You weren't watching him. Mrs. Voorhees yells at Alice because she's like, "Yo, she's a counselor. She wasn't watching my son."
Yeah. She's got this vendetta against Camp Green or not Green Lake, whatever the fuck, Crystal Lake.
Crystal Lake.
She's really letting one poor experience with a camp counselor ruin her whole view.
One
of camp counselors.
death of a son. What?
You know?
One
Come on.
death by
lady.
negligence.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just happened to be her
Comes
boy.
absolutely unglued.
Yeah. You know what?
Like,
You can have another kid.
Maybe.
But you can't unkill. You
Maybe.
can't unkill those camp counselors, though.
Well, yeah. Well, you can't bring her son back either.
No.
Nah.
Mrs. Voorhees draws her iconic Bowie knife we've seen her slicing up counselors with the whole movie.
Yeah.
Alice bats Mrs. Voorhees with a fucking fire poker and runs outside to the Jeep, seeing Annie's body from much earlier in the film, just positioned in the passenger seat like she's riding shotgun.
Yeah.
Also, as you remember her, she's sliced open as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hops out of the Jeep.
Naturally. Yeah.
And somehow Steve's body's in a fucking tree hung upside down.
Yeah,
Like,
right. I don't know.
I don't know if she hit like
how
a
the bodies
tripwire or
work.
something, but he
Yeah,
like swings down.
her old ass got up there and tied him up.
She has
No
been
way.
quite what's the word I'm looking for? Capable so far. She's Mrs. Voorhees.
She's done a good job. If
I'll
you're
give it
looking
to
for
her.
a serial killer that does a good job, she's done a good job.
Yeah. Fair
she
price.
is psychotically like
Not all
possessed
there.
by her dead son.
Yeah, get over it.
That'll give you some
It's been 11
extra
years.
strength. It's like
Yeah.
doing meth.
Yeah. Well,
Well, luckily this is a camp in the 1980s, so there's a million guns there for the shooting range.
Of course.
And Alice runs there to defend herself, while Mrs. Voorhees decides that the lights would help her out now, so she runs over to the generator room and turns things back on. Alice is startled by the lights turning on as she's trying to weakly bust into the padlock holding the ammo. Mrs. Voorhees finds Alice trying to get to the ammo, and she just slaps the shit out
She
of her.
fucking pimp slaps
yeah,
her.
she was slapping her.
Front, back, boom, boom, front, back.
Like multiple times.
Slams her through the table, fucking TLC style. The Dudley Boys would be proud.
The Dudley Boys. Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, the Dudleys were tables, yes.
Get the tables!
Get the tables!
Experts at tables is what they were.
Luckily, Alice manages to stun Mrs. Voorhees again, and she takes
Stun my
off.
son.
Mrs. Voorhees is also mimicking Jason this whole time, like, kill her, mother, kill her.
Yeah.
And she's like, I will, Jason.
It's like
I will,
he lives within her.
It kind of reminded me of. I wonder if that aspect of it was inspired by Psycho.
Oh,
with Norman Bates.
Yep, Norman Bates.
It could. Speaking of that, though, the writer of this movie, whose name I didn't write down, but
ironic.
He has admitted that he gained a lot of inspiration from Halloween that had just like come out like a year before this or something.
Yep.
So this is Friday the 13th is inspired by Halloween.
Surprise.
The movie.
Halloween is a hugely inspirational series. Inspired many.
Paul Rudd's in one of those Halloween movies. I think it's the sixth.
Is he really?
Yeah.
The sixth
yeah.
one.
Oh, so that's pretty cool.
And when they're starting to get real weird.
Yeah, is that when the movies start to get?
Yeah, I
pretty
mean
weird?
that's the sixth one in the thing. So yeah.
Yep. Alice runs into another cabin, slides into the pantry, arms herself with probably the most powerful weapon in the camp, even above the machetes. It's a frying pan, cast iron, baby.
Yeah.
Cast iron.
Yeah, that'll do some damage.
And of course, what's Mrs. Voorhees' first name? Is it Pamela? I don't remember.
Either.
I'm just gonna keep calling her Mrs. Voorhees in case I'm wrong.
I think it was Jessica.
Jason's mom.
I don't think you're
Karen Voorhees.
Karen Voorhees. She shinings the door, fucking breaks it open with a machete. And she has a very creepy smile as she notices Alice inside. That was pretty cool. I'll have to see if I can find a photo to insert of that.
That's spooky. She just gave like a.
She's like, there you are.
Hi.
Scary lady.
Mrs. Voorhees fucking is coming at her with a machete, and Alice bashes her with a frying pan. One shot puts her to the ground. She notices like 2 drops of blood coming from her head, so she's like, yeah, she's done for. Even though Mrs. Voorhees is just like kind of just like stunned, like, ah, damn. But Alice slowly walks out to the docks, thinking that it's all over. Like, wow, what a crazy night.
Whew, what a summer.
The opening for camp is gonna be delayed for sure.
Got all this blood out of here.
Alice is just sitting on a boat, just looking off into the lake, and Mrs. Voorhees creeps up behind her, and they have like a fight on the beach that was probably the fucking inspiration to the end of the Last of Us 2 fight between Ellie and Abby. Rolling around, beating the shit out of each other.
I'm Team Abby personally.
It's hard not to be.
I mean, Ellie murdered all of her friends.
And her dad.
But Abby did kill Joel. I hope I'm spoiling that for somebody.
Oh, God, I forgot. If you haven't played that game at this point or had it spoiled for you on the internet.
If you haven't played it yet. But.
Luckily, the machete is just out of reach.
Machete.
If Danny Trejo was here, Danny Trejo would be the ultimate Jason Voorhees.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
What if he is? It's been him the whole time. That would be just an amazing next Jason movie.
That'd be cool. I want a Friday the 13th movie with him as Jason.
Takes place in Mexico.
Yes.
Directed by fucking Rob Zombie.
Yes.
Or Robert Rodriguez.
Ooh, Robert Rodriguez.
He directed Spy Kids.
Yep.
You know, Danny Trejo's in Spy Kids.
And we get the final choppy slow-mo BS of the movie where Alice grabs the machete and just lops off the head of Mrs. Voorhees.
Yeah,
right off.
Like it's barely attached.
Clean.
One swing of the knife and it got her.
It was like
Popped
she
her
had
right
just
out.
sharpened it.
It was like she was made of cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Voorhees is like clutching at her head, like trying to find it.
Comedically, yeah.
The music is swelling.
Swelling, that's a good word.
Thank you. It's a bittersweet conclusion as Alice hand paddles out onto the lake because she didn't bring an oar with her because Mrs. Voorhees sliced it in half. And morning turns, and 2 police officers arrive at shore, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on out there? Hey, young lady!" And Alice is like hanging over the boat, like one hand in the water.
She was napping.
She just
Long night. Being absolutely terrified for a couple hours probably drains you.
Be pretty bushed.
Probably.
Yeah, pretty beat.
Yep. Alice is like 1,000 yards staring into the water, and she notices the cops when the camera's panning in, and we see this grisly figure of a 10 to 12-year-old boy pops out of the water. It looks like he's burned alive. He gets her in like a fucking headlock and drags her in. But it's okay. It was a fucking dream or whatever. Because Alice wakes up in the
Or
hospital.
was it?
Or was it a dream?
Or was it a dream?
Well, the cops don't.
He's still
well, the cops said that he didn't see it. So.
But he's supernatural. He's also like a zombie kid living in the water.
Yeah.
You never know.
I wonder if there'll be anything in the next movie with that guy.
I don't know.
Does anything ever come of Jason Voorhees?
Alice questions if her friends are dead, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they're toasted."
Yeah, your friends are super.
There's a couple
fucking-
cops.
Yeah,
standing
they
by
are.
the bed. And this it slowly fades from Alice's zoomed-in face to the lake, just a shot of the lake, and then I'm like, "Is something gonna jump out?" And then nothing jumps out.
It didn't. And nothing jumped out.
Another disappointment.
And that is credits for Friday the 13th.
The credits roll.
And credits roll.
We burned through that recap pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
What
How fast was
what
it?
happened?
An
here?
hour and 8 minutes.
Oh wow.
Should we talk for another hour?
I don't know if I was rushing us through that too fast or.
I didn't think so. I thought we had a pretty good pace.
Well, there's a couple of things I guess I didn't say.
Yeah, we got plenty. We got some time.
We got
chop
some
it
time
up.
to kill.
I didn't even finish one beer.
There you go. Start drinking. I didn't mention. So Betsy Palmer is the lady that played Karen Voorhees, and she didn't have much faith in the movie, but she did it because she needed a car, and she was able to buy a car afterwards. And she actually called the movie a piece of shit.
Oh, nice.
That's what she called it.
That is hilarious.
It's a 90-minute movie. So I mean, is it our shortest movie so far?
It could be. Country Bears was around 90, but it might have been a little more than 90.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of fun watching that. I think we're definitely going to cover the sequels.
Yeah,
or at least the first
Yeah.
the first
I
couple of
haven't
sequels.
seen-
There's an absurd amount. He goes to Manhattan eventually.
Oh
You guys go
god.
to Manhattan.
I got an eight disc box set from Wally World there.
Oh, Friday the 13th Part 2 is the second one.
Right.
Right.
I didn't know that we didn't see Jason in the iconic hockey mask in this one.
Yeah.
I thought I saw most of it, but it was all pretty unfamiliar to me. I think I saw the Kevin Bacon kill on like a YouTube video or something before, but
Classic one. Also, they had a $550,000 budget,
really?
and they made just under $40 million.
Oh wow,
So
that's
it's pretty successful
that is insanely
in the
successful.
grand scheme of things.
I'm glad that you looked that up because I wasn't sure if this was one of those movies that like bombed when it came out and then got a cult
No.
following after.
No,
was-
they
it-
got their money back and then some.
They made a ton of money.
Yeah.
That we saw in there.
No, I just said that.
Though you-
Oh my gosh, these are all called something different too.
Yeah,
They're
they're-
like not even all in order.
What's number 3 called?
Number 3, it's okay. So it's like Friday the 13th Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, the final chapter, A New Beginning, the Never. What is this one? The New Blood.
And then it's Manhattan, right?
It's also Freddy versus Jason.
That's like a spin-off thing. And there's a Friday the 13th like movie from like 07.
Friday the 13th. Jason Takes Manhattan.
We need this man
Yeah.
in the big city.
Yeah. It is counting Freddy versus Jason. That's 12 movies, is what I gathered.
Gotcha.
Why is a baker's dozen 13?
It's so the baker has an extra cookie to eat to test.
Oh, that's funny.
That's how I understand it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that would make the most sense. So we can test them and see if they're good.
Well, we try not to date the pods too much, but UFC 268 is on tonight.
Yeah.
And we're firing that up as soon as we're done with
Yeah.
the recording here.
So
And we're all pretty pumped for that. Yeah, what you got, Cole?
I got maybe one or two.
Rattle them off.
Oh, well, remember when they were all like running on like the dock at something, and we said you shouldn't run on those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that. And cool. I had it written down. And also, so the last thing I wrote is Mrs. Voorhees didn't really hesitate to kill any of the other people. Like they looked at her and they were like, "What are you doing here?" But that she usually just chopped them up without hesitation.
Right.
But then she gets to Alice, and then she actually talks to Alice, and she tells Alice her
why?
whole backstory with Jason drowning. That's
Yeah.
just why.
That's a classic villain fallacy there.
Yeah, she could have just killed her when she was playing nice, when she didn't suspect anything.
Yeah.
She had the upper hand.
She had the upper hand. She had the high ground.
She had the high ground, Anakin. Personally excited to check out part 2 when we get there.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
We're doing an early Sunday morning recording tomorrow.
A little behind the scenes.
Well, BTS for you. Do you know what movie you're gonna pick yet?
I think I might do A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Keeping it with the classics.
Nice. Do a little horror classic for y'all.
Yeah, getting some scary movies.
I gotta do a spooky one since it was
right
Halloween.
after Halloween.
And I've never
I
seen
know,
it.
yeah.
So like, it's like all right.
All right.
Never seen it. Let's do it.
I'm pumped for that then.
Is either that or The Conjuring? And I was like, you know what? I've never
I
seen.
thought about The Conjuring too.
Conjuring's a good one.
Yeah, it's the one with Johnny Depp too.
Ooh.
I like Unfriended.
That's Unfriended's a lot of fun.
I love Unfriended.
It's a lot of fun.
The first one.
Yeah, the second one is not good.
I don't even recall most of it.
Not good. Well, is there anything else on Friday the 13th, gentlemen?
I didn't. Not that I saw really.
Well, there's another franchise called Friday.
They're pretty similar.
They're pretty simple, yeah. They both have Friday in the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Pretty similar.
B, did you get anything else?
Go Steelers.
Yeah, because they're great.
Beat the Bills.
Got a big win over the
That
Browns.
was a long time ago.
Beat the Browns.
Probably gonna beat the Bears on
Probably,
Monday.
probably gonna beat the Bears.
Did Baker play last?
Yeah, he did.
He missed a week, didn't he? Or
He
am I
did.
thinking-
Yeah, he hurt his shoulder.
Yeah.
Then they released OBJ, and then the Rams signed OBJ.
I heard
The
about
Rams signed him?
that.
I didn't.
You
hear
know,
that part.
OBJ likes to get pooped on.
Yeah, that's his thing.
He likes to get shat
He
on by
likes to
women.
get shit on his chest.
And that's a fact.
Yeah.
I heard that. I don't know where I heard it from.
I think some girl tweeted
I know I
it
read
or
that
something.
No,
it was
a girl
like
on a podcast
prostitute, right?
said that they used to fuck and he likes to get shat on.
Did she poop on him?
She must have pooped on him, yeah.
That's
I don't think I could poop on somebody. I get stage fright.
No,
oh
no, absolutely not.
But I could
That's
definitely
foul.
get pooped on.
That's like
I think I'll try.
What?
Maybe I'll.
that's like you can get like diseases and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't do it.
Like that's
It's easy
super
poo-poo.
not sanitary at all. Like
No, it's a person's shit. You know, it's not sanitary.
I mean, come on.
Maybe if you have like a full hazmat suit on while
Right.
you're having sex.
Or if they shit on like a glass table or something, so you can just
There
like
you go. Create the
see it
illusion that you're
squish.
pooping on me, but I'm safe because I'm under the glass.
the smell will not be an illusion. That'll be very real.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the kink, I think. The smell is.
Ew.
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah. That's some people are
Well.
into that kind of thing, you know.
If that's not something to end on, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there.
Thank you all very much for tuning in. Aiming for the Bushes is, I don't think I've ever mentioned this.
It's brought to you
But-
by Man Grates.
Brought to you by Man Great. It's available on all streaming platforms.
All streaming platforms, wherever you can get your Spotify.
Oh yeah,
Spotify,
Yeah,
iTunes.
I never mentioned that, I guess, but yeah, Spotify.
Wherever podcasts are listened, that's where we're at.
We appreciate you.
Follow me on Twitter at Brant890.
Follow me on Instagram at Corbin Barnes.
Don't follow me.
It's like that. Block me.
Yeah, report me.
Don't fucking follow.
I don't want my account anymore. Zuck knows too much about me.
Leave me alone. Listen to my podcast and then leave
Yeah.
me alone. No,
Or
just kidding. I'm very nice.
Just look at my likes. And that's it.
Don't look at my likes.
Don't look at my
please.
tweets. Just
Don't look at my likes. It's all like hardcore.
Just
Porn.
porn gifs.
You're gonna be running for office.
like a fucking Ted Cruz.
Yes, Ted
Fucking
Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
Who was it that was on his that he liked?
Oh, it was
Was it Alexis Texas?
It wasn't Lexus, Texas. No, it was Corey Chase.
Oh yeah, he's got good.
Hey,
he's got
the
good
Corey
taste.
Chase. There you go.
Yeah, one of those things.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Later, groupies.
And see. That was. I don't know.
I thought we were wasting a lot of time.
I know. I was like, oh fuck, I keep interrupting him, but
It wasn't like a long movie, I guess.
no. There's so many scenes that were just one long fucking
Right,
shot. I just say what happened in a whole
you're right.
sentence.
This might be good, man.
Yeah, I'll leave this part in. I thought it hit stop.
I could be heard.
Oh, is it glitched? Oh, I have to hit